Cek satu. Baik, Bapak Ibu dan para hadirin, insya Allah sebentar lagi acara seminar akan dimulai. Sedikit informasi bahwa seminar ini juga ditayangkan secara live ataupun langsung di kanal YouTube PGSD IKIP Siliwangi. Jadi silakan yang akan mengakses seminar internasional ini juga ditayangkan live secara langsung di YouTube PGSD IKIP Siliwangi. Ini ke kamera. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Sejahtera. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The International Conference on Teaching, Learning, and Technology is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to extend our warmest greeting to our eminent guest, Rector of IKIP Siliwangi, the Honorable Professor Dr. ICTLT MPD, Vice Rector of Resources IKIP Siliwangi, Professor Dr. Wahyu Hidayat MPD, Vice Rector of Academic Affairs IKIP Siliwangi, Dr. Wikaningsih MPD, Vice Rector of Finance, Public Relations, and Cooperation IKIP Siliwangi, Dr. Muhammad Afrilianto MPD, Dean of Faculty of Education IKIP Siliwangi, Dr. Asep Samsudin MPD, Director of Postgraduate Program IKIP Siliwangi, Professor Dr. Haris Hendriana MPD. Excellencies, today's speakers, distinguished guests, heads and boards of study department, lecturer of Elementary Teacher Education Program IKIP Siliwangi, and also we would like to welcome to all the presenters and participants of the seminar. Host in Cimahi, this conference is presented by Department of Elementary Teacher Education Program IKIP Siliwangi with the selected theme Empowering Education for Sustainable Development as a Solution for Future Challenge. My name is Sofyan Nurmahardika. I feel honored for being your host today. Ladies and gentlemen, as a start of our opening ceremony, we will sing the national anthem of the Republic of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya, and followed by hymn IKIP Siliwangi. We would also like to invite you to all rise and sing it together with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let us pray together before starting today's event, which will be hosted by Dr. Roni Munggara, MPD.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, let us pray based on our faith and belief. For those who are Muslim, allow me to lead this prayer. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan syakirin, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azim sultanik. O Allah, we gather in this place in occasion of the International Conference on Teaching, Learning and Technology of IKIP Siliwangi. All praise and gratitude for your blessing that you have bestowed upon us. O Allah, the wishes, open us the conveniences to gain the wisdom of passion and sincerity that you have given us to improve the quality of our service to build whole people and the entire Indonesian community. O Allah, Almighty Giver of knowledge, make us with this activity increase our knowledge and increase our insight and abilities until later we will become professional in our work and always maintain sincerity in all parts of life. O Allah, the most forgiving, forgive us, our parents, and our leader for our sins and mistakes. God accept our prayer and request. Rabbana hablana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, before moving on the next session, let me mention to you our agendas for today. First, the report of the head of committee. Second, the welcoming speech by the head of elementary teacher education program IKIP Siliwangi. Third, the opening speech by the honorable rector IKIP Siliwangi. Fourth, the plenary session by the keynote speakers. Fifth, the parallel session. And the last one is closing. Starting the first agenda, the report from the head of committee. Please welcome Mrs. Medita Ayu Wulandari, MPD.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, may peace and God's blessing be upon you all. First of all, allow me to extend my warmest greetings and welcome to the second International Conference on Learning, Teaching and Technology 2023, organized by the Primary Education Department of IKIP Siliwangi. This conference is virtually held for today's November 15, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, This year's theme is Empowering Education for Sustainable Development, ESD, as a solution for future challenge. One of the Sustainable Development Goals is education for sustainable development. ESD has a critical position in the Sustainable Development Goal proclaimed by the United Nations because ESD is not one of the goals of sustainable development, but also plays a role in achieving other sustainable development goals. This international seminar was initiated to contribute the latest ideas to achieve these goals. Participants from various fields of education will share research and findings, both theoretically and practically, in conference to address board general or specific topics. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, we broadly present 4 outstanding speakers in the field to plan representation session and parallel presentation session. There are Professor Dr. Phil Ariwidodo MED as the head of ESD Indonesia, Professor Ying Xiaoshu from Taiwan National University, Professor Beyram Bijak for Adeniz University Turkey, and Dr. Sarbihana binti Samsudin from University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done our best to prepare this conference. So, my highest appreciation and heartfelt thanks to all the committee members. However, human shortcomings may occur here and there. On behalf of the committee, I would therefore like you all to accept our apologies. To conclude, let me wish a productive discussion and fruitful conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace and God blessing be upon you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the next agenda, we would like to welcome Rector IKIP Siliwangi to give an opening speech and also officially open today's seminar. Please welcome the Honorable Professor Dr. Uis Eti Rohaiti, MPD.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable all keynote speakers in this webinar, Professor Dr. Phil Ariwidodo MED from Indonesia, Professor Ying Xiaoshu from Taiwan, Dr. Sarbihana binti Samsudin from Malaysia, and Professor Nahiran Bijak from Turkey. The Honorable Vice Rectors of IKIP Siliwangi, Dean of Faculty of Education, the Head of the Elementary School Teacher Education Study Program, the presenter who will present their paper from other university and IKIP Siliwangi, and their all participants. Most of all, let's say thanks to Allah, who has been giving us guidance, happiness, health, and mercy, so we can attend and participate this event without any obstacles. As innovative campus, IKIP Siliwangi always support all departments to improve their qualities and also encourage them to have programs that build academic atmosphere such as this seminar. In the era of globalization, the widely use of digital communication and the emergence of worldwide job demand has placed a premium on what experts in educational would refer to as 21st century skills. The need to develop strategic communication and interpersonal skills in our students in preparation for an increasingly technological and multicultural landscape is of greatest importance. Education in Industrial Era 4.0 is a program to support the realization of smart education through improving and equalizing the quality of education, expanding access and the relevance of utilizing technology, and realizing world-class education to produce students who have 21st century skills, namely critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, innovation, collaboration, communication, and technological literacy. Based on the demands in the 21st century, change in education and learning are things that must be done. Change must start from enhancing the competency of teachers as the front line of education. Teachers are required to change the perspective of education with learning methods and educational concepts in accordance with the demands of the 4.0 education era. In facing the changing times, there are at least 4 competencies that must be possessed by teachers in the 4.0 education era, namely pedagogy competence, personality competence, professional competence, and social competence. Elementary school teachers today face greater challenges than in previous era. Elementary school teachers have to deal with students who are far more diverse, more complex, and difficult subjects, the standard of the learning process, and also demands for the achievement of students' higher thinking abilities. This is due to larger transformation in social, economic, political, and cultural aspects driven by the rapid development of science and technology, demographic changes, globalization, and environment, which have a major impact on school and teacher professionalism. 21st century teachers are required not Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Political and cultural aspect driven by the rapid development of science and technology, demographic changes, globalization, and environment, which have a major impact on school and teacher professionalism. 21st century teachers are required not only to be able to teach and manage classroom activities effectively, but also to be able to build effective relationship with students and the school community, using technology of support improving the quality of teaching, reflect and improve their learning practice continuously. Professional 21st century teachers are teachers who are skilled in learning, able to build and develop relationships between teacher and school with the wider community as well as agents of change in school. Therefore, this webinar supports students of elementary school teacher education study program who are the future educator to know more comprehensively about digital literacy and to integrate technology for innovative teaching and learning. Hopefully, this webinar can be a medium, share ideas, can add depth of knowledge and competence of our lecturer and student, and can excel elementary school study program to be a creative and innovative study program in the field of elementary school teaching and learning, as it is aligned with IKIP Siliwangi motto, the leader of learning innovation. Finally, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, International Conference on Education and Technology for Elementary School Entity, Empowering Education for Sustainable Development as a Solution for Future Challenge, I officially over. Thank you for your kind attention. My apologies if there are mistaken of ordinance racing words. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Ace, for the very wonderful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, before moving to the next agenda, I would like to invite all of the participants to open your camera so we can have a little bit of photo session of the moment. Bapak dan Ibu, peserta seminar internasional, agenda selanjutnya kita akan foto per sesi. Let me count down for the 5 session. Kita akan mulai dari slide yang pertama. Saya akan hitung mundur. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. The next picture. 3, 2, 1, smile. The third picture. 3, 2, 1, smile. And the last one. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, before beginning the plenary session, we will displaying the profile of the elementary teacher education program of IKIP Siliwangi. It will take around 10 minutes. Please be sure that you mute your microphone so that will be no noise during the session. Thank you.
Menciptakan mental optimisme perlu upaya kuat untuk menggapainya.
Suasana belajar yang produktif mampu membangun karakter kompetitif dan adaptif.
Di sini, kita merajut asa dan mimpi.
Di sini, kita dilatih menjadi pribadi unggul. Menjadikan kita siap menghadapi tantangan dunia.
Selamat datang di program studi pendidikan guru sekolah dasar IKIP Siliwangi. PGSD merupakan salah satu program studi yang berada di kampus IKIP Siliwangi di bawah unit pengelola program studi Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan. Unit pengelola program studi Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan mengelola 4 program studi yang terdiri dari program studi pendidikan masyarakat, program studi bimbingan dan konseling, program studi pendidikan guru PAUD, dan program studi pendidikan guru sekolah dasar. Program studi PGSD memiliki visi keilmuan, menjadi penyelenggara pendidikan guru sekolah dasar yang berlandaskan pada inovasi pembelajaran psikososial, pengembangan karakter, literasi, sains, seni budaya, etika profesi, kemandirian belajar serta memperoleh bahasa asing, dan keterampilan penggunaan ICT untuk mendukung pembentukan jiwa entrepreneur. Tujuan dari visi keilmuan tersebut antara lain menghasilkan tenaga pendidik yang memiliki sikap dalam etika profesi dan mandiri dalam mengembangkan jejaring kemitraan yang luas pada tingkat nasional dan internasional. Menghasilkan tenaga pendidik yang memiliki memiliki keterampilan umum dalam penguasaan ICT yang dapat diimplementasikan dalam pembelajaran berbasis proyek dalam bidang pendidikan guru sekolah dasar yang unggul dan berdaya saing global. Menghasilkan tenaga pendidik yang memiliki kemampuan pengetahuan dalam literasi dan numerasi untuk menyelesaikan masalah-masalah dalam bidang pendidikan guru sekolah dasar yang unggul dan berdaya saing global. Menghasilkan tenaga pendidik yang memiliki keterampilan khusus serta berjiwa entrepreneur, memiliki kemampuan dalam mengembangkan proses pembelajaran inovatif dan mampu menyelesaikan masalah-masalah dalam bidang pendidikan guru sekolah dasar yang unggul dan berdaya saing global.
Program studi PGSD IKIP Siliwangi merupakan salah satu program studi yang menggagas pendidikan sesuai tuntutan pendidikan abad 21. Kami senantiasa melahirkan calon guru-guru SD yang unggul, kreatif, kompetitif, serta berjiwa entrepreneur sesuai kebutuhan zaman. Untuk itu, kami ucapkan selamat datang dan selamat bergabung di program studi pendidikan guru sekolah dasar IKIP Siliwangi. PGSD IKIP Siliwangi, muda, beda, dan penuh karya. Ingat guru, ingat IKIP Siliwangi, reliable and friendly institute.
Melalui visi dan misi yang diemban, kini program studi PGSD telah meraih akreditasi dari BAN-PT dengan predikat B dan menjadi salah satu program studi unggulan yang banyak diminati oleh mahasiswa, baik dalam maupun luar kota. Adapun kegiatan Tridharma perguruan tinggi yang dilaksanakan program studi PGSD antara lain, kegiatan pendidikan yang dilaksanakan dengan terintegrasi melalui pemanfaatan media digital, baik secara blended maupun hybrid learning. Kegiatan penelitian kompetitif secara kolaboratif sebagai upaya peningkatan kualifikasi dosen melalui penelitian hibah yang disediakan Ristekdikti maupun hibah internal. Kegiatan pengabdian kepada masyarakat dalam upaya implementasi hasil pendidikan dan penelitian sebagai perwujudan pengabdian program studi. Tenaga dosen PGSD IKIP Siliwangi terdiri dari dosen-dosen yang memiliki kompetensi sesuai keilmuannya dalam bidang pendidikan dasar, dengan kualifikasi lulusan S2 dan S3 dari perguruan tinggi ternama. Program pendukung lainnya yaitu kegiatan kemahasiswaan yang berkolaborasi dengan Himpunan Mahasiswa PGSD. Rangkaian kegiatan yang dilaksanakan Himpunan Mahasiswa PGSD berupaya mensinergikan dengan visi dan misi program studi sehingga kegiatan yang terlaksana menjadi wahana kreasi mahasiswa dalam mengembangkan potensi minat dan bakat mahasiswa. Adapun sarana dan prasarana pendukung kegiatan Tridharma program studi PGSD antara lain ruang prodi PGSD, ruang dosen PGSD, ruang kelas PGSD, laboratorium media pembelajaran, laboratorium career and development center, laboratorium IPA, laboratorium komputer dan IT, laboratorium micro teaching, laboratorium kesenian dan budaya, melalui visi dan misi yang visioner, kami program studi PGSD semakin yakin untuk melangkah lebih depan dan siap menjawab tantangan dunia.
PGSD IKIP Siliwangi,
Ladies and gentlemen, for the next agenda, let's watch together a traditional dance performance from IKIP Siliwangi Elementary School teacher education student.
Garuda Pancasila, lambang Indonesia, nu masur kagurnita jagat
Indonesia adalah bangsa yang besar. Berhak untuk masa depan dan harapan yang besar. Berawal dari mimpi yang besar, kami persembahkan untukmu negeri. Paragon Corp, sebuah perusahaan dari Indonesia yang mengawali usahanya di bidang kosmetik sejak tahun 1985. Hingga saat ini, Paragon telah melahirkan Wardah, Makeover, Emina, Kaf, Putri, Crystallier, Instaperfect, Labori, Biodev, Tafi, Wondery, OMG, dan Beyond Me. Atas izinnya, kini kami semakin berkembang dan terus berkembang. Paragon Corp memiliki pabrik seluas 20 hektar yang terbagi menjadi 7 kawasan. Memiliki 43 distribution center dan marketing office yang tersebar di seluruh Indonesia dan di Malaysia. Kami selalu bahu-membahu bersama lebih dari 10.000 karyawan. Langkah kami untuk menggapai masa depan adalah dengan menjadi perusahaan yang memiliki pengelolaan terbaik, melalui produk berkualitas, yang memberikan manfaat bagi Paragonian, para mitra, masyarakat, dan lingkungan. Kami sekelompok manusia biasa yang memiliki semangat tiada henti.
Kalau semua nilai-nilai itu konsisten dilakukan dan ditambah pertolongan Allah SWT, insya Allah kita akan sukses.
Tiada henti kami berinovasi dan mengembangkan sumber daya manusia.
Inovasi tiada henti dan perkembangan manusia berjalan beriringan. Bagaikan nafas, jika berhenti, maka akan mati. Paragon akan terus mengembangkan talentnya. Jika mereka berkembang, maka kami akan juga berkembang.
Saat ini, kami terus tumbuh menjadi besar.
Perkembangan perusahaan yang pesat sangat bergantung kecepatan menangkap tren. Brand-brand Paragon hadir dengan modernitas yang menjawab kebutuhan konsumen.
Bersama, kita hadirkan beragam prestasi. Kami berkembang 39 kali lipat sejak tahun 2010. Kami menjadi market leader di industri kosmetik untuk kategori make up di Indonesia. Produk-produk kami terjual 7 buah per butir. Kami juga mendapatkan berbagai penghargaan seperti penghargaan Halal Top Brand, Indonesian Best Brand Award, dan 25 wanita berpengaruh di bidang entrepreneur di Asia versi majalah Forbes. Kini, kami bertransformasi menjadi holding company Paragon Corp yang memiliki 3 pilar bisnis. Pilar pertama, Paragon Universa Utama atau Paraversa, yang memiliki anak perusahaan Paragon Technology and Innovation, perusahaan kosmetik yang telah menjadi market leader. Parama Global Inspira atau Parama, perusahaan distribusi kami. Farkos Citra Internasional atau Farkos, perusahaan kecantikan yang didirikan untuk menjangkau lebih banyak konsumen. Dan Paranova Global Optima atau Paranova, sebuah perusahaan dengan bisnis model reseller untuk membawa kebermanfaatan lebih luas kepada masyarakat dan membawa Paragon untuk semakin beyond business. Dan Pharmacore Technology and Innovation sendirian berhak. Pilar kedua, Paragon Beneva Investama atau Beneva yang berfokus pada investasi. Dan NC, Nur Hayati Sibakat Entrepreneurship Institute, pilar ketiga kami yang berfokus pada inkubasi dan akselerasi bisnis. Kamu juga berkontribusi untuk negeri berdasarkan 4 pilar. Pertama, pendidikan, di antaranya Paragon Scholarship, Novo Club, program pelatihan guru melalui Wardah Inspiring Teacher, Inspiring Lecturer Program, dan Good Leader, Good Teacher. Kedua, kesehatan, dengan mempromosikan dan memberikan edukasi pola hidup bersih dan sehat. Ketiga, lingkungan. Salah satunya adalah pengadaan air bersih di Wairinding, Sumba. Keempat, pemberdayaan perempuan melalui program Women's Space dan program pengembangan masyarakat para desa inspirasi. Puji syukur kepada Tuhan. Bersama-sama kita besarkan hati, besarkan semangat, besarkan mimpi untuk Indonesia yang lebih besar. Paragon Corp.
Okay, sip. That's the traditional dance performance by the student. Distinguished guests, as of the plenary session, will have 4 keynote speeches from 4 speakers. Professor Dr. Pil Ari Widodo, Master Education, as a chairman of ISD Indonesia. Dr. Salbihana binti Samsudin from Tun Hussein on University of Malaysia. Arif Hidayat, Master Science, PhD Education from Indonesia Association STEM Education. And Prof. Bayam Bijak from Akdeniz University of Turkey. All the speakers will be guided by our moderator, Mrs. Dian Kurniawati, MA. Mrs. Dian is a Master in Applied Linguistics, graduated from Sheffield University, United Kingdom. With the warmest welcome, Mrs. Dian, the floor is yours. Come on. Ya Allah.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me to this conference. I'm very honored to join you all. Thank you for the invitations. Good morning, everyone. This morning, I'm going to talk about Education for Sustainable Development, or ESG, and how we can implement it in our schools. Let me share my screen. Can you see my Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me to this conference. I'm very honored to join you all. Thank you for the invitations. Good morning, everyone. This morning, I'm going to talk about Education for Sustainable Development, or ESG, and how we can implement it in our schools. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay. The title of my presentation today is Implementing Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD, in the schools. This is the outline of my presentations. First of all, I would like to talk about SDG, or Sustainable Development Goals. What is it? And then secondly, I'm going to talk about Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD. And finally, I'm going to talk the implementation strategy of ESD in our schools. Let me start with the first part. What is SDGs? SDGs, we call it as Sustainable Development Goals, is a blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. So we are talking about prosperity, but we have to consider the people, the human beings, and the planet. It means our Earth, and then now and the future. So we are not talking about only now, but we are talking about the future. So in 2015, the UN has agreed of these 17 development goals that they call it as Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 development goals that decided for that time, and these 17 development goals is supposed to be achieved in 2030. There are 17. The first one is talking about no poverty, and then SDGs number 2, zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Number 4, quality education. Number 5, gender equality. Number 6, clean water and sanitation. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. Number 10, reduce inequalities. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. Number 13, climate action. Number 14, life below water. Number 15, life on land. Number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Number 17, partnership for the globals. These 17 goals are called as Sustainable Development Goals. It means that achieving these goals should relate to sustainability. You see number 4, quality education. Quality education is very important. I'm going to talk about in the next part. Now we're talking about what is SDGs. You know, I have just mentioned that there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And number 4, you know that quality educations. Quality educations is very, very important. And then we are talking that with quality educations, we can improve the quality of human beings. And how can we improve the quality of human beings? That's through education. And then we have what we call it as education for sustainable development. To achieve on those 17 goals, we need to educate our children. And what is ESD? ESD is education that encourages changes in knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes to enable a more sustainable and just society. Here, ESD are talking about knowledge, skills, values, and attitude. So ESD is talking about not only about the knowledge, but also about the actions. So what is the difference between environmental education and ESD? We have environmental education in our curriculum, and then we have been implementing environmental education in our schools for many years. So what is the difference between environmental education and ESD? Environmental educations, the main focus is preserving environment. When teachers teach environmental education, their focus is on preserving environment. ESD talk about environment, but not only the environment. ESD talking about economic and social. So, for example, we cannot change peoples by only ask them to think or to consider of the environment. We need also to talk about economy and social aspect. For example, we have many years teach our children not to throw rubbish anywhere, but do we make it? Until now, we can still find people just throw rubbish anywhere. Why? Don't they know that this can create damage to environment? We need more than just environmental considerations. We need also to consider about the economy. For example, you may know that in our daily life there are many plastic bottles like this. Okay, when we can find there are many plastic bottles out there, used plastic bottles out there. Why? Don't people consider the environment? I think they may, but we need more than just considering the environment. If in every bottles like this, used plastic bottles, there are fun here and there are money. If you go to the shops and bring these empty bottles, you will get, for example, 1,000 rupiah. I don't think people will throw in their plastic bottles. So there's economic aspects. We need also to consider the social. Just, for example, our government have a couple of years ago introduced that if you go to the mini markets do not provide plastic bags for your things. Okay, when you go shopping in the mini markets, the mini markets do not provide you plastic bags. But what happens? Why still there are so many plastic bags? Because the price on the the price of the plastic bag is too cheap. Maybe 100 rupiah, 200 rupiah. Let's see. What happens if you have all the plastic bags and you go shopping to the mini market? The price of the plastic bag like 10,000 rupiah. I don't think that you will buy the plastic bag. You will bring your own bag from home. Okay, so that's economy and also the social consideration is very important in ESD. Secondly, environmental education is a single discipline. It talks only about the environment. But as I have illustrated before, ESD is integrated and multidisciplinary. Finally, Environmental education is very much content-oriented. Environmental education, in the teaching of environmental educations, teacher just talk about the environment, what, for example, pollutions, and whatever anything that's related to the environment. Can be the loss of biodiversity, can be about the pollution, and so on and so on. And the assessment at the end of the semester is just the content, student understanding of the content. ESD is different. ESD is more action-oriented. So the focus of ESD is not only on the understanding, as I have mentioned before, but also awareness and action. So that's why ESD is different from environmental education. What is the importance of learning ESDs? There are 8 key ESD competencies that we can develop by teaching ESD to our children. The first one, the second one is anticipatory, and then normative, strategic, collaboration, critical thinking, self-awareness, and integrated problem solving. Let me talk about number 8, integrated problem solving. The rest, you can read it in many literature about this, but I'm give you the number 8. In ESD, as I mentioned before, required students, we present issues on our environment. We are talking about environment issues, for example. And then we require students to think of the solution to the problem. And the problem is a real problem. First, I just give you, for example, before solving the problem of why so many people throw plastic to our environment. What can we do? We have many places in Indonesia. There are always plastic bags in our rivers, in our streets. There are plastic bags. This is a real problem. If we ask students to solve this issue, this is a real problem. And we ask students how to solve these issues. They have to think many aspects. Okay, they have to think, how, for example, how can we create a technology that can, that make the plastic can be easier, can be faster broke down. And then we can also talk about what is it possible for us to have more environmental friendly plastics. We can, my students talk about how can we educate people so that they do not throw rubbish anywhere. Yeah, so there are options, there are possibilities. So these 8 ESD competencies we can develop when we teach ESD. Okay. I've mentioned earlier that number 4 in our SDGs is quality education. Quality educations have a very unique roles in SDGs. Quality education is one of the goals, but only a way to achieve the other 16 goals. So we learned now, for example, when a people have a good educations, when a people have a good educations, the people will have more opportunities to have a better job. Don't you agree? When a people have a good job, they will earn more money. When you have more money, you can buy food, not only enough food, you can also buy healthy food, healthy and better food. So there will be no poverty. There will be no hunger. If you earn more money, you have more money, you can have a better health services. You will have a better health, well-being. If you have more money, you will most possibly have more time to have concerns on our environment, for example. And that's why education is very important. And education in this place, we can relate that quality education with ESD. So ESD can be in the center to achieve to achieve all 17 sustainable development goals. ESD can contribute to SDGs number 1. ESD can contribute to SDG number 2. ESD can contribute to SDG number 11, and so on and so on. And this is why ESD is very important. We know, I have mentioned that ESD is very important. Then how can we implement ESD in our schools? First of all, I would like to give some illustrations and ask you to think of when and where do we produce a lot of food waste? Can you think? When and where do we produce a lot of food waste? Here are just some examples. Social events. For example, wedding party or any parties, actually. Yeah, gathering. If we go to the parties, wedding parties, for example, we will see people take food here and there. They try to eat the food. But have you ever seen that there are many food waste? Some people do not finish their food. So if you check when in the party, you will see that there are so many food waste. Okay. In the second way, during religious events, for example, Idul Fitri, I think this is a very shame for us that during Idul Fitri there are so many food waste. We're wasting food during Idul Fitri. Okay. And then number 3, there are family events such as birthday party, family gathering. In general, we can say that when there are many people gathering, and then we serve food there, and then so there are many food waste. That's what we are doing. And we can also find food waste in restaurants, hotels, and also in our house. Can you just now think of when in your house you waste food? Restaurants, hotels, yes, sure. And houses, yes, we do. We also waste food in our house. Some foods, maybe we just buy food from the market. We do not really cook it and spoil the food there. Oh, the food is there, but we do not finish cooking, eating it, and then we spoil it, waste it. Number 5, markets. Here, if you go to the traditional markets, you will see there are so many food waste there. It's not the food, but like vegetables, fruits, many kinds of that. You can go to the market, to the traditional market especially, and you will find so many waste there. And also our farmers, we lost food also when the food is still on the field. For example, our farmers do not harvest the plants on the right time, so it's spoiled, becoming waste. So in general, you can see that we waste, we spoil, we're wasting food in many places. Just imagine how much food we wasted. Let me see. Let me show you the graph. Here, a study just published by Hansen in 2023 this year, and he created a rank of countries that produce the most food waste. The food, as I mentioned before, food waste, we can lose food in our houses, in the services like restaurants, hotels, and so on, warung, okay? And then also in the delivery in the market. And you see here, I give you the yellow here. This is Indonesia. Indonesia is just below the average. The average is here with the red circles, and Indonesia is here. So it means that we wasted a lot of foods. Some other countries even more. That's not where we are going to. But let's see what happened to Indonesia, and that's why actually it's it's a shame that we heard about stunting in Indonesia. Stunting would never happen if we distribute the food properly. We waste a lot of food here in Indonesia. Okay, we are one of countries listed in the list here that waste food. And so, how can we reduce food waste? How to educate our students about food waste? We know that Indonesia wastes a lot of food. So we have to stop this. So instead of wasting the food, why don't we give the food to our brothers, sisters, neighbors? So we need to educate our students about food waste. So as I mentioned before, these are the possible food loss and food waste. The first one is in our farmers. They may not properly harvest our plants that they grow there, our crops. They may also spoil or wasted what they have harvested, maybe because of not a proper harvesting, for example, you see. And then during the distribution from the farmers to the consumers take a long way, and throughout the way there are food that are spoiled or wasted. And finally, when the food come to consumers like us, we still wasted food there. For example, we do not manage to cook vegetable that we have bought in the market. Maybe we spent a couple thousand rupiah, but of spinach or kangkung or whatever. But we do not cook it, for example, and then we spoil it, we waste it. So we lost some money actually. And maybe the The vegetable is already cooked at home, but we do not eat it. So we lost also some money actually. We do not consume what we already prepared, what already bought from the market, when we already cook it, and then we do not eat it. So we are wasting food. So see, there are three steps, three phases where we lost food and make food waste. So what solutions, what kind of solutions can you propose? Can you think? What solutions can you propose to our farmers so that they do not waste their crops? What solutions can you propose to our people in the market so that they do not waste our food? What can you do, or what can you propose to our restaurants, to our warungs, to our families, so that we do not waste food? So these are all that we can do. There are so many things about food waste. So I give just the last options. How can we reduce and manage food waste in our house? What we need to do first is to reduce food waste. If we do not, and the food becoming waste, then we have to do something else. So there are two steps here: reducing food waste, the first one, if it is possible, and then manage the food waste if it turns into waste. The first one what we can do is, first of all, we buy foods that we really need it. Sometimes we buy more than we need. And remember, we lost money. Remember about talking about ESG, you have also considered the economy. If you waste food, then you lost money actually. We lost money. Okay, so we have to buy food that really we need it, just the right amount that we need it, so that we save some money actually. So second one, preserve food. If we buy food excessive, more than we need it, then we have to think, how can we preserve our food so that it doesn't turn into waste? Number three, cooking food at the right amount. In many families, we have more food than we can eat, and this turn into waste. How can we do that? So, in many cases in Indonesia, when we have a meeting, for example, then they will serve food, isn't it? We have meeting, we have events in our office, and then we serve food. Sometimes we do not eat the food because they have so many food there that you cannot eat it, and you bring the food back home. For example, the lunch box, we bring the food, the lunch box back home. But does the lunch box reduce the amount of the food cooked at home by your wife, by the wife, for example? No. Why? We do not tell them. We do not tell our family home that, okay, today I bring home my lunch box, so you can reduce the amount of rice you cook, or you can reduce the food you cook at home. If we do this, we will actually save the money. So the lunch box that we bring home actually can reduce the amount of the food that we cook at home. So what happened now in many cases, we bring back home our lunch box, that we get from our meeting, but food cooked at home. So we may have excessive food. We may eat more food than usual. There's not good one. But also, maybe we turn some waste at home. Okay. Number 4, we can share foods. I believe that here in Indonesia, in almost every family, they have extra food at home. And the way, actually, we may need to share our food. But, for example, you cook sayur asam, and you may still have some left, like one bowl of sayur asam, satu mangkok. But we cannot finish it. But we want to share, actually. We can share it to our neighbors. But we may say, this is just a small amount of sayur asam. It's not much. We feel ashamed to share with our neighbors. But actually, we can do it. If, for example, in one RT or one airway, they have an application, digital application, for example, food sharing. So the members of the community in one RT, for example, they can have like an application. Today, for example, I have extra chili at home, and anyone in this group who need extra chili can get it in my home, for example, at my house, for example. Anyone, for example, I have more kangkung or bayam or spinach or whatever today, you can just share it. So, but we don't have it. We do not have this kind of possibility to share food with our neighbors. And then I think we need it to do that. Okay. Now, that was all. How can we reduce food waste? Now, if the food still becoming waste, what can we do? Okay, then we may need to, we can process the food waste for animals, or maybe to make a compost for our plants, our crops. But this is the last step. Okay. So number 1 until number 4 is really what we should do to reduce food waste. But if it turns still we produce food waste, then we have to don't just throw the food waste, but we need to, maybe we can give it to the as animal foods. Okay. So for my illustrations about food, if we give our children a project on food waste, we can relate this into SDG number 1. No poverty. Poverty mostly related to the inavailability of food. So if we share food, then our neighbors may our surroundings, the neighbors in our surrounding, they have enough food every day if we can share food. And then if we share food, then no one get hunger. If we can share food, then the people will have a good health and well-being. Sharing food or managing food may also relate to responsible consumption and production. You see, sometimes we take a lot more than we need it. That's not responsible. We can also talk about SDG number 14, life below water. Why? If we just throw our waste, it's make our rivers polluted. We also cannot talk about life. So having a project on food waste to our children may help our children to connect with other sustainable development goals. Now I'm going to talk about ESD in science lesson. We don't have ESD in our schools. So ideally, we should have ESD as a course sebagai mata pelajaran in our schools, but we do not have it. Or maybe we can change environmental education into ESD. That's much better. Okay, but in case that we do not have this kind of possibility offering ESD as a course, then we need to integrate the principle of ESD into our school subjects. For example, ESD in science lessons, ESD in social studies, ESD in religious teaching, ESD in PKN, ESD and so on and so on. If that's not possible, we can also have ESD as an extracurricular program. So like we have now, we have Pramuka in our schools. How can we integrate Pramuka and ESD? For example, Pramuka. You know, we have Pramuka in our as an extracurricular program. We can integrate the idea of ESD in our extracurricular program in Pramuka, for example. When students go camping, for example, they need food, don't they? They need to cook. Where do they get the food? They buy. No. What if then we give students to grow their crops in schools, the school garden, and then for example, they grow vegetable, they grow fruits there, and when they go camping in Pramuka, and then they cook the crops from the crops that they grow by their own in schools. It will be great, isn't it? Okay. And also we can collaborate with communities when talking about ESD. Now, for example, schools, we have so many waste, rubbish there in our schools. The plastics, it can be plastics, papers, or even organics from our canteen, or school cafeteria. Do we collaborate with the communities? No. In most cases, school just manage, school are separated from the community. Okay. If a school has, for example, school produces waste there, the school have their own programs different from the community. Why don't the school integrate with the community and managing the waste, the school waste? Then actually this can be a part of a collaboration between school and the community. We cannot educate our children by the school itself. We need also the community. So collaborating with the community can create many good things. So I talked already about so many things. But in our new curriculum, there are what we call it as project. How can we put ESD into our new curriculum? In the new curriculum, we have like profil pelajar Pancasila, like beriman, bertakwa kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa dan berakhlak mulia, berkebinekaan global, mandiri, bergotong royong, bernilai kritis dan kreatif. I do not translate this one so that you understand it. But when teach science, we are also learning objectives like conceptuals, understanding of the science concept, the thinking skills, and also the motoric skills. And remember, I just talked about 8 ESD competencies. How can we relate all these things? The profil pelajar Pancasila, the learning objectives, and the ESD competencies. How can we achieve all this? The answer is very simple. It's also available in our curriculum, but that they call it as a project. Remember that in the new curriculum, each MAPEL, each courses have to the student have to conduct a project. How can we run the project? And so if we run the lesson in project, then we can actually just achieve all these goals. Just as I told you before, if students run a project on food waste, they may now realize that, oh, we have to be thankful to God. Harus bersyukur, alhamdulillah masih bisa makan. And that's related to profil pelajar Pancasila number 1. And when we are talking about solving the issue of food waste, we can talk about system thinking. We can talk about integrated problem solving. And that's also related to thinking skills, can relate to conceptual understanding, and so on. So by conducting a project in our schools, we can achieve these things. Okay. So what is a project-based lesson? I deliberately talk about this because many people, many teachers perceive project differently. So a project is a teaching method that provides opportunities for students to have in-depth learning experience. Doing a project is learning for a deeper understanding. Project has nothing to do with products. Project is the process of learning something deeper. Okay? Because the learning is deeper, it may need longer times. That's the consequences, but that's okay. Okay? So a project has nothing to do with making a product. But project is learning a topic in a deeper so that you are better. So just like this, if you are doing a project, student may develop some aspect of profil pelajar Pancasila. Students may also achieve the learning objective. Students may also have achieved the ASD competencies. Okay. So here, what I say once again. First, students conversations that we can achieve through food waste project. See? So, how we manage project then? A project can be run as individual, is an individual project, but also we can run it as a team project. If we conduct the project as individual project, then we actually try to develop student independence. They have to be independent learners. If we run the project as a team, we can develop students' collaboration skills. So, in whatever way you are choosing to run the project, whether you want to choose an individual project or you want to choose a team project, that's good, no matter what. Okay. So that's all that I'm going to talk today. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have questions, you may ask it after this or send it via message. Then I will reply, give you some extra information. Thank you very much. And thank you for the committee. Thank you for the organizers for inviting me for this conference. Thank you. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
lagi lampu. Thank you, Mrs. Diana, and also our amazing speakers for the marvelous station. Selanjutnya, Bapak dan Ibu hadirin semua, kita akan door prize terlebih dahulu. Dan nantinya yang bisa mendapatkan ataupun yang bisa menjawab dari pertanyaan yang akan diberikan akan mendapatkan hadiah yang menarik dari sponsor kita. Perlu diketahui bahwa terselenggaranya acara ini karena dukungan dari beberapa sponsor, diantaranya ada Paragon, lalu BTN, dan juga BSI, lalu ada juga Luwak White Coffee, Beli Kebiru, Lebrasa, Kresida.id, dan juga SD ICTLT. Dan silahkan nantinya yang bisa menjawab pertanyaan dari saya, silahkan gunakan fitur raise hand-nya. Sebelum nantinya saya akan pilih untuk menjawab setiap pertanyaan yang saya berikan. Sudah siap ya hadirin semua? Oke, baik. Saya akan mulai pertanyaannya dari PGSD dulu mungkin ya, yang berkaitan dengan PGSD ataupun IKIP Siliwangi. Silahkan untuk pertanyaan yang pertama itu adalah sebutkan nama lengkap dari Rektor IKIP Siliwangi. Oke, di sini sudah ada Indah PGSD 23060302. Halo? Bisa dinyalakan mic-nya? Indah ya. Silakan disebutkan nama lengkap dari Rektor IKIP Siliwangi. Oh, salah ya, masih kurang tepat. Ada satu gelar yang belum disebutkan. Boleh turunkan lagi, raise hand-nya dimatikan terlebih dahulu. Fitur raise hand-nya dimatikan terlebih dahulu. Ini pertanyaannya masih gampang ya. Dan siap-siap nanti yang mendapatkan, yang bisa berhasil menjawab akan mendapatkan bingkisan menarik dari sponsorship kita. Sekali lagi, fitur raise hand-nya boleh dimatikan. Baik. Oke, Sylvie, Maya, dan juga Pak Fadli boleh di fitur raise hand-nya diturunkan dulu. Baik, saya ulangi, silahkan sebutkan nama lengkap Rektor IKIP Siliwangi. Oke, di sini sudah ada Ibu Tina Marlina. Silahkan Bu, disebutkan nama lengkap Rektor IKIP Siliwangi. Mikrofonnya belum dinyalakan, Bu. Ya. Oke, betul ya. Selamat untuk Ibu Tina Marlina. Nantinya Ibu akan mendapatkan door prize dari sponsor kita gitu ya. Baik. Untuk selanjutnya yaitu pertanyaannya ya. Baik. Tadi kan saya sudah menyebutkan sponsor yang mendukung acara ini. Oke, sebelumnya fitur raise hand-nya semua peserta mohon diturunkan terlebih dahulu atau dinonaktifkan. Pak Dendi Ahmad. Baik. Tadi saya sudah menyebutkan beberapa sponsor ya yang mendukung acara kita pada seminar internasional ini. Silahkan saya minta sebutkan 3 sponsorship yang mensponsori ICTLT ini. Oke, di sini sudah ada yang paling pertama yaitu Maulidia dari B1. Silakan sebutkan 3 sponsor yang mensponsori acara kita kali ini. BSI, Paragon, lalu ketiganya? Gimana? Tadi udah jawab. Satu lagi apa? Sebelum saya alihkan ke yang lain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oke, mohon maaf ya belum bisa mendapatkan. Silakan saya beralih ke ini selanjutnya Amelia dari B3. Silakan sebutkan 3 sponsor utama dalam kegiatan kita kali ini. Kurang jelas, coba bisa diulang lagi? BTN, Paragon, lalu satu lagi apa? Sudah disebutkan, ini kurang jelas nih suaranya. Udah ya? Oke, selamat Ibu Amelia mendapatkan door prize kedua ya dari sponsor. Lalu selanjutnya boleh fitur raise hand-nya diturunkan kembali. Baik, kita lanjutkan ke pertanyaan selanjutnya ya. Silahkan disimak baik-baik. Yang selanjutnya adalah saya minta sebutkan ketua pelaksana dari ICTLT ini. Oke, di sini sudah ada yang pertama itu dari kelas B2, Ibu Wafa. Silakan. Ibu Wafa. Hilang ya? Oke. Saya lanjutkan ke Ibu Heti. Di sini sesuai urutan ya. Mohon maaf nih, sesuai urutan. Ibu Heti, silakan Bu Heti. Nama lengkap Ketua Pelaksana Seminar Internasional kali ini PGSD siapa? Yang lengkap ya. Oke, sip. Selamat. Ibu Heti mendapatkan door prize yang ketiga gitu ya. Baik, mohon maaf untuk semuanya, kita tunda dulu untuk door prize selanjutnya. Silahkan jika ada informasi yang disampaikan, silahkan dicermati baik-baik gitu ya. Dan untuk hadiah dari door prize itu bisa diambil di prodi di waktu kerja mungkin ya. Baik, ladies and gentlemen, for the next agenda, let's watch together a traditional dance and sing performance from IKIP Siliwangi Elementary School teacher education student from Hesti Anggraini, Aza Larasanti, Anggun Trisna Puspita, Rohaiti, Rida Zulfa Alvina, dan Kansa Adia Shiva. Budian aja langsung. Okay. For the next explanation, I'm sorry. So we move to the next agenda. For the explanation of the second speakers will be hosted again by Miss Dian. Hello, Miss Dian. Are you there? Okay. So for the next explanation of the second speakers will be hosted again by Mrs. Dian. So Mrs. Dian, the floor is yours. Ngilu anu ieu naon juk itu katanya menulis kemarin jigana
Okay,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Gitu teh tarik gue. Ini teh Q&A Prof Sabila heula, terus Q&A Prof Ari. Nyanyi. Saka lampu A. Okay, thank you, Miss Diana. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the next agenda, we will watch together sing performance from IKIP Siliwangi Elementary School teacher education student from Hesti Anggraini, Aza Larasanti, Anggun Trisna Puspita, Rohaiti Rida Zulfa Alvina, and Kansa Adia Shiva.
Putar ke kiri, nona manis putarlah ke kiri, ke kiri, ke kiri, ke kiri dan ke kiri, ke kiri, ke kiri, ke kiri manis hey. Sekarang kanan nona manis putarlah ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan dan ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan manis Ampar-ampar pisang, pisangku baru masak, masak sabigi di hurung bari-bari, masak sabigi di hurung bari-bari. Manggalepok, patah kayu bengkok, bengkok dimakan api, apinya cangculukan, bengkok dimakan api, apinya cangculukan. Kampung nan jauh di mata, insan saya baku liang, takkan aja kawan-kawan lama, sangkit dan bersulian-sulian. Segani pong guyur dalai kakek sir pong dalai kopong sir pong dalai kopong sir pong dalai kopong jangir sing jangir sayang empo ora roti kelap ngelapungan langsing lancar pamulune nyendat gading mireng mejangiran sarian ento rora roti arasi janjangi jangir arasi janjangi jangi hidup sauyung antara pahiri-hiri silipikanya ateng disbelapati manuk dadali ngandung silo kasinatria kersakuna bangsa di negara Indonesia manuk dadali manuk panggagahna pelambang sapi Indonesia jaya manuk dadali pangka kuncarana resepna hiji rukun sakalehna mana di mana anak kambing saya anak kambing tuan ada di pohon baru mana di mana jantung hati saya jantung hati tuan ada di kampung baru caca marica hei hei caca marica hei hei caca marica ada di kampung baru caca marica hei hei caca marica hei hei caca marica ada di kampung baru rasa sayangi lihat dari jauh rasa sayangi rasa sayangi lihat dari jauh rasa sayangi kalau ada sumur di ladang boleh kita menumpang mandi kalau ada umurku panjang boleh kita berjumpa lagi rasa sayangi lihat dari jauh rasa sayangi rasa sayangi lihat dari jauh rasa sayangi.
Aman. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is performance from IKIP Siliwangi Elementary School Teacher Education Student. Before we move to next agenda, mengingatkan untuk nantinya 20 peserta pertama dari seminar internasional ini nantinya akan mendapatkan bingkisan dan untuk nama-namanya nanti akan di-share di grup seminar. So for the explanation of the third speaker will be hosted again by Mrs. Dian. So Mrs. Dian, the floor is yours. Eta nungguan eta orang mah.